Welcome to Waking Up America, the Not Morning Show. Today's news: several objects have been shot down across the US. What the hell is going on? Let's talk about this while we still can. My name is Alexander Graves. I'm a constitutional conservative. If you guys enjoy this content, please consider following us on Twitter at Waking America Up. Before we get into any of that, I do want to give a quick channel update, as it does appear that I have been shadow banned here. And I just want to cut through a little bit of data here, so bear with me really quick because there's an important point to it before we get into the news. Okay, so following my shadow ban on the banned episode, which you can go find on Rumble, it should be in the link down below as well as a way to subscribe over on Rumble. I took a screenshot of my data from the analytics on my videos regarding views and subscriber count. Now you'll notice as soon as that strike hit, all of my traffic just died. All of my subscribers just started flatlining. Now I've got the rest of the data pulled up here as well. You can see that it's kind of just trickled, and it's more apparent when you look at on this this big graph here. Daily views, as soon as that strike hits, just absolutely nuked. Watch time, same thing, nuked. Subscribers, actually the first time I've actually ever lost a subscriber. And if we go back to the previous data, so again, please double check your subscription status. Make sure you haven't been unsubscribed. You can see exactly the trend was going up, and then it just flatlines. So I have been shadow banned, and I don't really care. This isn't me preaching, oh my god, I've been shadow banned. But it made me think. And it made me realize that if my channel is this small, and I've been nuked this early, how many more voices in our movement have been nuked before even reaching anyone, really? And that's a troublesome thing. I think we all need to stay really focused on the YouTube censorship, on these other company censorships. It's obvious that, which we saw with the release of the Twitter files, they put special tags on your channels and they lock you out. They prevent you from being searched. I can't even find most of my videos now unless I search the title exactly with all 100 characters. Now the reason I bring that up is because we live in a world of absolute madness right now. All we see all the time is these crazy leftists, left, right, and center, and they are emboldened by the videos online, encouraging them for this behavior. And why is this happening? Because the opposing voices are being completely silenced. So it encourages them to continue this insane behavior, and all we ever see is crazy people. But I can tell you right now, you step outside, 95% of people, 99% of people are not crazy like this. I believe this is the one catalyst of destruction for our nation. The one thing that will bring us back from the brink is ending this tech censorship, so normal voices can come back and shame these people back into the dark crevices where they belong, so they are not encouraged to head out into society and groom children and spread their communist ideology without any pushback, because they are encouraged, they are emboldened, and they are promoted by these tech censorship oligarchs at the heads of YouTube, Google, and Facebook. They will continue to push that content while censoring all opposing voices. This is all by design. Enough of my spiel, let's get into the news. So if you're not aware, several incidents happened over the weekend, as well as the previous week. We had up in, I believe off of, South Carolina, there was a Chinese air balloon that was shot down. In addition to that, we had another target sighting in Alaska. We had another one, I believe, in Montana. And now there's one that was over Lake Huron. This one has also been shot down. What the hell is going on here? I'm going to kind of surmise here and maybe come up with a possible hypothesis for you. So, breaking: Canada has just closed the air section of airspace over the Great Lakes and near the US-Canadian border due to active air defense operations. Now, this one has been shot down. So the Federal Aviation Administration, radar anomalies trigger airspace closure, and a senator warns of EMP risks amid balloons and unmanned aircraft incidents. I did speak to this last time we covered the first balloon, that the real risk here is if a localized EMP or nuclear device was detonated above one of our power grids or above all four of our power grids at once, it would effectively knock us out of any future engagement from China. And make no mistake, China is definitely looking into this. So the Federal Aviation Administration issued a temporary flight restriction over a portion of Montana on Saturday, briefly classifying the area as National Defense Airspace. NORAD, which is the North American, including Canada, radar defense system, detected radar anomalies and sent fighter aircraft to investigate. This is where it gets weird. Those aircraft did not identify any object to correlate to the radar hits. Now, Senator Ron Johnson has warned for years about the risk of high-altitude nuclear blasts, that it could create an EMP that could wipe out our electronics. Even a geomagnetic disturbance could do the same thing. This is what I spoke to earlier. Now, this story gets weirder and weirder. So my presumption is more than likely what happened here is NORAD changed something in their system to detect finer objects, and they've been picking up a lot more hits because they're searching for those Chinese balloons, and that's why these are all coming out of nowhere. Twitter's going nuts right now. It's an alien invasion. It's really funny, but let's dig into it a little bit more here. So the U.S. military has shot down another unidentified flying object over Lake Huron, and there's some weird stuff going on with these things. So China also, and this is China, so take them with a grain of salt here. They're probably just trying to, pass the buck. It's like, oh no, this is happening to us too. Oh, so weird. Unidentified flying object has been detected near Rizhao in China, according to Chinese state media, Global Times, citing local maritime authorities. Now, either they're doing the whole, here it is, the whole reverse. It's like, aha, we got you. Or this is the beginning of the balloon wars, where we're fighting back and forth with balloons, which is awesome. There was another object that was shot down over Alaska. It was a small object. They're saying it's the size of a car. Now, the Chinese balloon was the size of several buses. This one is the size of a small car. So think like a crappy Prius or something. Friday's high-altitude action comes 6 days after the F-22 fighter jet shot down a Chinese spy balloon with a Sidewinder missile off the South Carolina coast, but there may not be a connection between the two downed objects. The object was shot down over Alaska on Friday and was about the size of a small car, so not similar in shape or size to the altitude of the surveillance balloon that was taken down off the coast of South Carolina on February 4th. We have no further details about the object at this time, including a description of its capabilities, purpose, or origin. So basically they know nothing, but it gets weirder. The U.S. military pilots say unidentified flying object shot down over Alaska had no identifiable propulsion, interfered with their sensors. So these pilots are basically saying whatever this was interfering with their sensors, so more than likely some electronic device, and it had no identifiable propulsion, so it wasn't able to be moved. Now, the internet's going nuts here, and they're like, aliens. I don't think it's aliens, to be clear. I think they're being really disingenuous with their choice of words in this situation, but it's still interesting because I mean, if a balloon's just floating and hovering at that neutral equilibrium when its helium's dying, it's technically got no propulsion as well. So they may just be choosing their words to freak the people out. I don't know. Kirby noted that the object did not appear to be self-maneuvering, so it had no ability to maneuver. It was just hovering in space. Okay. CNN reported some pilots said the object interfered with their sensors on the planes, but not all pilots reported experiencing that. Some pilots also claimed to have seen no identifiable propulsion on the object and could not explain how it was staying in the air, despite the object cruising at an altitude of 40,000 feet. Now, multiple pilots saw this, but we still don't have a picture, which is weird. We're calling this, I mean, it's 2023. Everybody has a phone. Everybody takes photos. We're calling this an object because that's the best description we have right now. We don't know who owns it, whether it's state-owned or corporate-owned or privately owned. We just don't know. So they did shoot this down. There's some more stuff in here about aliens. I'm not going to get into it, but it makes you wonder. Just imagine, just travel with me into tinfoil territory here for a minute. Imagine if we were searching for Chinese balloons and we just accidentally shot the first alien ambassador to visit us, and we just started intergalactic war by accident over Chinese balloons. That'd be hilarious. That'd be a great way to die. All right, let's continue. Now, this is what I think. I think the Chinese balloon was the test. We found it, and now we're finding more than likely these could be civilian aircraft. You know, people doing their own stuff with weather balloons and whatnot. Or it could be China is testing and prodding our defenses, which I believe is more likely. So over the weekend, again, more anomalies. I've got a video here for you. So mysterious green lasers over Hawaii were likely from Chinese satellite. A Chinese satellite was taking presumably laser readings or possibly laser tests. We don't know if this is a weapon or if it's measuring topography underneath the water. I'm not really gonna speculate as far as that goes, but it's freaky to watch. It's just zipping across, like more than likely. Also, this is slowed down, so you can see this laser just rips across. China has been improving their laser tech recently. According to Orbital Focus, a satellite orbit monitoring service at 2 a.m. local time, the Daki-1 satellite was likely passing overhead and was the probable culprit and was on north to south trajectory that fits left to right motion in the video. Now, some people again say, it's aliens. Other people, Chinese satellite. I would argue it is the Chinese satellite, but I would argue I don't think it is a benign purpose. It's measuring the depth near Hawaii. Now it's like, okay, are they measuring this because they just want to scan the Earth topography? Possible. Or maybe they want to see the exact depth of the ocean here. Like, can we slip a sub through here without hitting the bottom? I don't know. Just asking the questions. Okay. Now, this is not the first incident of the Chinese using lasers. They have been developing, unfortunately, laser weapons. This is kind of interesting. This just happened today. Philippine Coast Guard says Chinese ship aimed laser at one of its vessels. The Philippine Coast Guard has accused a China Coast Guard ship of pointing a military-grade laser at some of its crew, temporarily blinding them aboard a vessel in contested waters of the South China Sea last week. China has been emboldened, and they are continuing to claim that the South China Sea is all theirs, everything around the islands. The Chinese maritime police vessel defended China's sovereignty and maritime order in accordance with China's domestic law and international law, says China. China claims indisputable sovereignty over almost all of the 1.3 million square mile South China Sea, as well as most of the islands within it. That includes the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. They are going full imperialistic here. They are getting ready for war, and unfortunately, hate to break it to you, it is coming to our doorstep. They are counter planning against us right now. That's why all these things are happening. They're looking more than likely to shut us down before we can even get into the fight. Now, this continues with this speculation. This seems to fit right now with this other story. The number of Chinese migrants illegally crossing southern border up 700%. This is in addition to them building military bases down in Argentina. The number of Chinese migrants illegally crossing the southern border into the United States in the last 3 months is currently up more than 700% compared to the same period in 2021. 2,176 Chinese nationals were encountered at the southern border, and Texas recently apprehended 3 Chinese immigrants who had each paid human smugglers $35,000 to enter the United States. Now, that begs the question, are these just refugees? Are they just trying to escape the tyrannical regime of China? Possible. But the Department of Homeland Security told Fox News Digital that officials are monitoring the southern border for potential spies and other national security threats. I argue it's more likely the latter. It seems awful convenient that they're flooding across the border now. More than likely, these could be saboteurs coming into our country, and it just seems awful convenient. They're all coming in now as the tensions with China are much, much higher. I think we need to really keep China under a microscope here and watch everything they're doing in the guise of that they are preparing for World War III and they are preparing to shut us down. That being said, I am going to end with just a little bit of a white pill here today. I have been marked safe from aliens. Nobody panic. Okay. I haven't been abducted yet. We're good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am Alexander Graves, the Constitutional Conservative. If you guys enjoy this content, please follow us on Twitter at Waking America Up. You guys can also find us on Rumble down below as well. I hope this video reaches you guys. I've noticed my viewership has been completely tapped since that strike. Please comment below if you guys enjoyed this content. If you guys think it's something else, or if you have any other news stories to share, please go ahead. And I will see you guys next time. Stay safe. Watch your back.